Welcome back to another one. Some of you might remember this stunning little bike. Now, I can say that the Diamondback Axis is an absolutely stunning bike. Obviously, it didn't have a massive overall, it wasn't a full build, but it's back and I've got to tweak a few upgrades on a few bikes before I get into some bigger builds next week. So the next full build frame to finish video it's a nice bike. It's a nice bike. You've not seen it on the channel before and it's bloody awesome. It's got some sexy little details, so definitely stick around for that one. So let's take a look on what we're actually doing on this bike today. Well, first of all, it's got the XT combi shifters. Now, when I put this together, obviously I flooded all of that full of oil, but they're just not great. So we're going to upgrade them and change them out. So first job is to get the grips off and take the shifters off. Well, first thing first, we're putting new cables in. So say bye bye cables. All right, let's get the shifters off. Well, obviously with the gear cables off, we now drop out the actual cables, which is simple enough done. Boom, there we go. I think we might have to replace them, so they might have to come off anyway. But we've got to get these grips off and we've got to get them off. Well, now generally speaking, this is where the struggle generally starts to begin, because these ODI dildo grips, as I've called them in other videos, don't have kind of any opening or hole there. So when you push them on, it's almost like a vacuum. So these are on tight. So, and the way I always put grips on is to basically use a bit of good old isopropyl spray. This slides straight on, and then once that alcohol spray kind of evaporates, the grips are on nice and tight. But getting them off without damaging them is another thing altogether. So going to be a while with this one. So the easiest way I find is trying to get a straw down the actual lever. Now that's spray oil. So after we're spray oiled, I'm going to have to really clean all that inside out to kind of get the spray oil out. You don't want to go in with any kind of screwdrivers or anything like that, because you don't want to scratch the bar, especially when they're quite nice, retro, you know. So we're going to try our best. So I've loosened that off and I'm going to move that down just a little bit out of the way. And then we're going to try and push the straw as far in as possible. Get a bit of spray oil just down there. Then get a rag or a cloth. And what we're going to try and do is start to get that grip kind of moving. So there we go. So we've got the first bit, probably a centimetre, now moving back and forth, which is great. That's that bit, not all of it. So now we should be able to get the straw further in. And basically, I'm going to keep repeating this process now until that grips off. So it's going to be a long one. Right, let me jump to where I've got these off, because I'm going to be struggling for a while. Well, that was about 10 minutes later. I look like a tomato, but that's one grip off, undamaged. So clean that out with alcohol, and then when we've got the shifters off, we can then, well, I've got to get the other side off, so another 10 minutes. Come on. Right. Woo. Let's try and get some more oil down there. Ah, struggle's real here. Yeah, still going. Alright. Just look how bent my straw is now, look. In, out, shake it all about. Got that off the grip moving, so. This rate, oh, got some getting there. There we go. That was some hard work, that was. Right, get the shifter on. We'll have a look what we're putting on instead of the combis. Now, there does come a time in every component's life where sometimes it's ready for the bin. I reckon a full strip down of that shifter and a re-grease and a re-oil and a proper clean up would probably get that working again. But that's not what we're doing on this one. So they're going, well, they're coming off this in relatively nice condition, so yeah. And what are we putting on? Fummies. So got some XT fummies and some nice SS7 levers. Should work a lot nicer, a lot better. But now we need to make sure all that oil I sprayed in the grip is out. So yeah, let's rag it off. And then once I know there's no oil in there, we can slide these on as well as all the shifters and that. Won't need much of a clean. Let's get these on. Well, sliding the grips on should relatively be super easy. So a bit of alcohol in there, swirl that around, bit on there, bish bash bosh. We get that logo lined up as well. Right, let's get it on before it evaporates, and I just tip it all over the floor. I tell you what, they don't come off that easy, but they go on easy. Alright, perfect. That's one. Let's get the other one. Again, make sure my logo's nice and tidy. So now, that's them on. Now once the bike's on the floor, I can set the angle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that now because obviously we've got to start then doing the cables. I've got a sneaky suspicion that I'm probably going to end up replacing these anyway. So we're definitely replacing the gear ones because I snipperooed them. So let's get the levers set and then I get the cables in, set the gears and brakes up quickly, and then that's like super quick upgrade and it'll make the bike function a lot better. Well, it turns out in the end, brake cables had to be done because the older XT combis was running the thicker shifters with the thicker bits there the thicker ferrules. So basically I had to put some different stuff on. So front is all wired up and I've got them brakes knocking. Actually really easy, to be fair, because I previously already set up the brake pads. They was already set, so all I had to do is just run the cable down super quick, tighten it back up, and then that was just set straight away. So that was awesome. Same with the back one as well. Got that one knocking. When the brakes are knocking, boink, 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 boink. I bloody love setting up cantilevers. A lot of people don't, but I generally do. Again, with the gears, super easy because the limits was all set. All I had to do was just basically put the cables through, nip them up, and just do pretty much a quarter of a turn on the adjusters. And then they was all set. So, all in all, I prefer the Fummies. I think that is a lot better and it just looks a lot more retro as well. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Super quick, super quick. Well, that was a super quick upgrade, and I think it's made a world of difference, especially to the indexing, because those thumb shifters, especially on the back, it's just like bang, 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 bang into gear. Front's nice and smooth because obviously the front's a friction shifter. I think overall it's made a massive difference to the actual functioning. Like I say, with a lot of effort, stripping off the casing and really cleaning up all those moving parts in the gear shifters, you could have got them working, and they probably will get that treatment eventually. But I think for now, I prefer the Fummies anyway. So let me know in the comments what you'd have done. Like, do you prefer the combis? Because them combis are a bit, they don't even feel that great even when they're working on these older bikes. So all in all, super nice bike. The Diamondback Axis is a really nice bike, which leads me on to the next thing. Now I've done this super quick upgrade, I can clean the workshop, get this bike out and get the bike in for the full build, which is going to be one of the next, it should be the next video, to be fair. Yeah, I think it might be the next video. Keep an eye out for that one. And if you got this far, as always, I appreciate all of you for watching. And yeah, see you on the next one. See you.